3 key depth chart spots on Marcus Freeman's mind as Notre Dame enters preseason prep. South Bend, Ind. Notre Dame won't forget how last season ended. The challenge for coach Marcus Freeman when the Irish open training camp Thursday morning is to ignore where this one might go. As a trendy national championship pick with a returning star quarterback, plus a manageable schedule and a seemingly complete defense, Notre Dame would find it easy to skip over patches of the season, never mind parts of camp. Yes, Notre Dame should be able to sleepwalk through this year's opening weeks of Wisconsin, Rice, Michigan State, and Purdue, which went a combined 427 last season against Power 4 opponents.
Looking for a premium phone without the premium price? This renewed, unlocked iPhone 14 offers 128 gigabytes of storage, a sharp 6.1-inch display, and 5G capability for around $299. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/6 right now.
Advertisement maybe that makes those teams similar to Northern Illinois or Marshall. 2 September stains on Freeman's head coaching resume. I continue to remind our program, our coaches, our players about, stop worrying about the playoffs, stop talking about it, Freeman said. We didn't earn the right to play more than 12 games last year. And that's something that we've owned. And we know we have aspirations to play beyond the regular season. That doesn't need to be said. Freeman said he's rethought everything from January through August to avoid another early season slip, which could be costly for Notre Dame considering its schedule strength. The Irish play 3 teams that made the preseason coaches poll. No, Notre Dame's coach didn't detail any of those changes and won't be certain they worked until the season kicks off. And for Freeman, one of the challenges might be keeping his "leave no doubt" message fresh for almost an entire calendar year, considering Notre Dame has been operating with it as a mission statement since last season ended. I think it's just a feel you have to have as a leader, right? If I come in and say the same message over and over and over about a bloody wound, they're gonna start rolling their eyes, Freeman said. This is what they need to hear today, right? Is there something that I can use to relate it to them? It could be something that happened to us, could happen to me personally, could happen to them personally. It's all the ways to reinforce a particular message. There is no perfect form, I don't have that answer. But if I think they need it, I'll use it, I promise you that. Does Notre Dame have receiver depth? With Jordan Faison back after leading the Irish in receptions, 49, and yardage, 640, last season, it appears Say Carr will have a legitimate no. After that, it's much harder for Freeman to know what's ahead for the position that could take Notre Dame from national championship contender to potential winner. Advertisement: Jadon Greathouse returns after missing basically all of last season with hamstring issues. Milan Graham and Quincy Porter arrived in the spring from Ohio State, but Porter remains limited by left knee patella surgery over the winter. Freeman said he believed Porter would be available for the season opener versus Wisconsin in 4-1-2 weeks. Micah Gilbert has had as good an offseason as anyone, Freeman said, although Gilbert finished last season with just 9 catches, even if one of them was the first touchdown pass of Carr's career. Gilbert was never targeted more than 3 times in a game, hitting that mark in blowouts of Syracuse and Stanford. So, does Notre Dame actually have enough on the outside? Some other guys that maybe are inexperienced or like Milan that transferred in, how do we continue to find their role, right? And how many different ways can we get them on the field at different positions? Freeman said. Who's the top 6, 7, and how do we use them at different positions to get them all on the field? The different positions part could be the biggest riddle for Notre Dame to solve during camp, because there's no ready-made boundary receiver such as Malachi Fields or Bo Collins. Each led the receivers group in snaps played during their one season at Notre Dame. Only Porter fits that body type on this year's team, but he remains limited. No ceiling for Teddy Jared. If Teddy Jared gets on the field at all this season, it will be unprecedented. Not because of the quarterback's talent, but simply because he's here at all. As the first reclassification for Notre Dame football, meaning Jared graduated a full year early from high school, bypassing his senior season entirely. His presence makes the battle for the backup job behind C.J. Carr unusually interesting. Is it realistic for a player who could be starting at North Cobb High School in suburban Atlanta to play at Lambeau Field? Advertisement, that's not unrealistic for anything, Freeman said. To be a guy that can reclassify a year up shows you that he's intelligent, he puts the work in. And how fast we can expedite this process to get him to where he's playing fast, that's always a challenge. It's our job to get them caught up so we can evaluate them making fast decisions. What seems clear is Jared will open camp behind Noah Grubbs and Blake Hebert. The latter showed up 18 months ago but didn't factor as a freshman. And Freeman is fine with that, making it clear that QB2 oncept that open mind is good news for Jared. The way we structure practice has to be intentional about getting those three of the quarterbacks enough of the reps that 1, they can develop, and 2, we can evaluate them, Freeman said. You'll see Blake and Noah split reps with the 2s. For now, how good can the middle of the defense be? When Notre Dame jumped into the portal this winter, it wanted to add at receiver. It absolutely needed to add at defensive tackle, which it did with Francis Brew, Pittsburgh, and Tion Gray, Oregon. Brew gives the Irish a pass rusher. His 20 quarterback pressures last season, per Pro Football Focus, were tops among all defensive tackles on the Irish roster. His 484 snaps played would have led Notre Dame's defensive line. Gray has a body type the Irish lack at 6'5", 330 pounds, and his arrival perhaps papers over some recruiting cracks in recent classes. Though injuries at defensive tackle are often a question of when, not whether, Notre Dame appears built to travel that road, at least in early August. I think there's 5 guys that you know are going to be out there, Freeman said. There's gonna be a competition for who's those next guys in there. We're gonna need it, all of them. Advertisement for the record, Brew, Gray, Jason Ani, Elijah Hughes, and Armel Mukem make up that first wave. That's 3 transfers and 1 player who almost departed through the portal before a U-turn this winter. Beyond those 5, it's not clear what Notre Dame has, and that level of depth might feel like a stretch before camp opens. Freeman noted junior Sean Sevillano made a move in the staff's eyes this offseason, but he has played just 56 anonymous snaps through 2 seasons. Freshman Elijah Golden figures to get a look at some point after he enrolled this winter. On the depth front, the Irish will already be without sophomore Chris Burgess, left tibia stress fracture, and freshman Tiki Ola, right ACL. Both figure to be deep reserves this season. I don't have much concern about who's gonna be on the field, Freeman said. I think we got a number of guys in that defensive tackle position that can help us in the play.